Now, for what everyone has been waiting for, a woman! Welcome to video games with not a guy all the time. My name is Curtis, and today we've got Shelby, the original, to talk about the new Shelby with an I. That's a character. You can see right above us here. But before we jump into Shelby, there was something I was saving from yesterday, which is this. The Godiva special outfit or costume, whatever you want to call those, that Shelby's been coming up with. Everybody's getting more and more costumes, so if that's what you're into, that's what we're making. And Shelby's way more of a Gundam aficionado than I ever thought she was. Because when I said, hey, you should make like a Gundam suit for one of those guys, and Gundam Diva seemed like a great idea. And she brought in a book that's filled with like a billion Gundam. Yeah. Like, I thought they went on for like, there's some cartoons and there's a few of them. Some of them turn into planes. They may or may not be Transformers. I don't know. But yeah, there was like so many and so many styles, and there's one that she put together there that they're always popping up. There's always more Gundam news. But yeah, Shelby put this together. So if you're into cool robot suits, we have one. And is this one? This one seems similar to this one. Is that like, or well, style wise, are they all kind of have that style?
Yeah, they all kind of have like the white and blue and red color scheme, I guess. Well, the original one had yellow too, but yeah, they all kind of follow the same, I guess, principal design.
Yeah, I guess that's why I thought like there's only like 30. And
yeah,
then you see like, oh, that one's like a cowboy suit. Oh, that one's all round and like a Big Hero 6 style and stuff. And it's just so vast and deep.
Well, they're not all called like Gundams. There's like different types of suits and stuff.
Okay, yeah. And Macross Plus, is that Gundam or that's a whole separate thing?
That's I think some of the same people worked on it. But yeah, it's kind of like all the mech genre or whatever. Yeah.
I don't know much about that. Once I started at an animation studio, all this stuff just started flooding in, and then it's just like, I don't know. You mean that's not Starscream? No, it's not. There's a man inside there running that robot.
Yeah, I guess that's the huge difference, is that Transformers can actually think and Gundams can't.
Just a suit. Give them time. Give them time. So I'm gonna hide the pets here real quick. So at one point, like I've said before, we started naming all the characters after all the people that work on it, and there used to be a Brent. He's still floating around in the ether in an old version. He's a dragon rider, which I'm sure thankfully we left him on the list because that's kind of a huge pain to put these guys together. Clyden is in there. He's on a horse, and Shelby was just putting him in a cool new outfit. It's already my new favorite Clyden outfit, and he's not even painted yet, and it's so great. The horse has wheels. He's got a cool like leather like riding jacket, goggles, excellent facial hair, and piercings. It's
he's a gangster now.
Yeah, so it's all out of Shelby's head and amazing. And I don't know, like I said before, if you're not Shelby, you're not good enough.
Oh.
That's just how life works. Sorry. But yeah, this is what we had Shelby do to Shelby. Her old name was Malkin.
It says like Fire Spark.
Yeah, Spark
like
Fire, Black Spark. Yeah,
Starfire.
Starfire. And then we got a Shelby in real life, and it was like, well, this will be the Shelby. Shelby's a fiery, raging fire mage of hate and anger, and she's always punching holes in walls, and we got to put up more posters all the time. And oh god, you wouldn't even want to see the way she reacts when we get a telemarketer calling. Unbelievable. It's not me, it's completely her. I've never done anything. I don't even answer phones. We got her fancy sword. So she starts off basically like this. Whatever. It's fairly, I don't know, I still think it's super cool. Like all the new outfits, like again, you and David went through and souped everything up, even the lowest level. So like everything looks awesome. I almost don't even want to keep progressing. But I don't know. We never actually took the time to make it look like anybody in the office. So if you're like, Shelby's not a fiery redhead.
My mom is.
Oh well, there you go. So it's in her genes. So it's possible. This is probably what Shelby, when she names her kid after herself with an I, this is exactly what she'll look like. Her face is loosely based on Hermione Granger. and I think some other people were maybe jammed in there as well. But just that, I don't know. When I watch the Harry Potter movies, to me, Hermione is I don't want to say the bad guy, but she has this spite in her that I love. But she doesn't. She never looks happy. She just always looks like she's ready for a fight, no matter what's going on. She's very Lisa Simpson when it's not necessary. Like, they're just trying to be your friends, guys.
She has what they call a resting bitch face.
Yes.
Yeah.
She sure does. But it's cool. On some people it works, and I think on Hermione it does. That's why she keeps getting jobs. So hair-wise, I don't think I came up with any of these. I'm pretty sure these were all you.
Well, David kind of came up with like some of the shorter ones, just to kind of.
And then you fix them. Good job, Dave, but not good enough. You're not Shelby yet. Teamwork. It was good teamwork. They both had great long Gundam conversations while they picked hairstyles for little girls. As is how video games are made. I love this one. I almost find it hard to upgrade her past this, because this is my personal favorite hair.
I like the one with the flower. That's, I think, the second one. Yeah.
Flower. That one I did design. That one was my idea. That's why it's Shelby's favorite. It's hard to favorite your own things. I find, anyway. Yeah, sometimes I do. Speaking of favorites, go over to the YouTube, find the videos of me crying and playing, and share them with everybody. Let's make this thing viral, people.
And like Dylan's castle.
Dylan, come on.
Give Dylan some likes.
I can't even. Dylan didn't have any likes. I mean, nobody has any likes really, but come on. I mean, Dylan's a good guy. He's got a nice jacket. He's got some friends, and they just don't even care about him. He's a good guy. And you know, like we said before, all these have like power upgrades, but who cares? We have to get to a meeting soon. And then we get the flower hair. She's got some goggles. I find it hard not to give every character goggles of some kind because they're always fun.
It's like the style now. Everyone's all in steampunk.
Yeah. I always thought I thought for years that Hellboy was a guy wearing goggles when I'd see drawings of him. I never.
Oh, because it was.
Yeah, I always thought
it was horns. Yeah.
And then somebody finally brought in a big giant Hellboy figure. I'm like, wait, like? So he is like the devil, like, or he's the demon or whatever? Like, yeah, something like that. And those are horns. Like, I thought those were goggles for years.
Yeah, I can see that.
I'm horribly unobservant. So this one's up there with one of my tops, and then her full blown highest end mask, or hair and mask. She's got a cool mask, nice dead eyes, so you can't, you know, the hate can really shoot out when she shoots her fire beams, and these awesome pigtails. Still with the crazy sideburn anime. Whatever those are, lady burns.
Oh, they're everywhere though.
Yeah, I could never finish a drawing without putting those on them for a good 4 or 5 years of my life, and clearly I did it again. And then we go into her. Actually, let's just go dragon outfit. I think I've shown you guys some of this before, but this is adorable. Again, I can't wait for the new costumes because we got more stuff like this. Oh, but.
Yeah.
That's the funnest. Like, again, I've lived in a world for a long time where it is like, hey, we got to get this thing done. Here are the storyboards. Here are the rules. Here are the stuff we have to do. Now do it exactly, and deviating will mean you have to do it again. It is so thrilling to be able to go, hey, Clyde or Shelby, do that thing. Like, I don't know, like a costume or whatever, a dragon? I don't know. Anyway, come up with something. And then... literally, what is there, 7 characters? Like, 7 costumes later, like, here you go. I drew them, I made them, and I liked them, and I didn't have to do all the work, which is a very hard place for me to live in. The boss is constantly telling me, like, that's not your job to do the work anymore. Your job is to use your head and your brain and just make decisions, and that's not how I was raised. I was raised in a world like, do it, and shut up about it and get it done, while my Dad made fun of me for taking 10 hours to shovel the driveway, and I don't know. I wasn't a tough kid. That's fine. Not everybody is.
Your dad actually make fun of you for...
Yeah, they, pogey, I believe is the word that people used to say all the time. You got to get your pogey, which is some sort of slang for your EI or UI. I don't remember what it's called now, but when you don't work anymore and the government pays you for a bit. He said that I take so long to shovel this one driveway that I will get enough hours to get my EI, and I'll be able to get laid off. And I'm like, so I'm getting paid for this? No, just finish it. Let's put her in some regular pants for a second. Alright, so as we soup up Shelby, she's got this cool, I want to call this a somewhat high fashion something or other, 90s red carpet outfit, big crazy boots, and whatever. Like, I think this was still like, yeah, I did a lot of these designs, and then you guys souped them up. So I can be like, what were you thinking? I was thinking I gotta fix this stupid thing Curtis did, and make it look better. Which is all we're asking around here. Again, like, whatever you see in any kind of video game or TV show, it was pure garbage like a week or a month ago, and then they hired a Shelby or an Esteban Valdez. That's not his last name. Esteban something or other. Esteban Valdez is another Esteban Valdez. To come in and do some cool stuff, and yeah, between everybody, amazing stuff happened. And I'm really just trying to burn through this so we can talk about X-Files real quick. But yeah, so I'm just going to keep showing you guys outfits as we go. Meanwhile, as I mentioned before, Shelby started watching X-Files 100 years after the X-Files has been on. Literally the same weeks the new X-Files has started and came back. And it leaves me to think, have I ever even seen the X-Files? Because Shelby describes things that sound so hilarious and so fun. And I'm like, I think that's what I'm doing this weekend, is just watching X-Files all weekend from season 1.
Like all the seasons that are out now.
Because even like the way you said yesterday, it was just like, Mulder, he cannot pull his gun out fast enough. Like, he's really quick at it and he's really good at it, but sometimes you don't need to unload your gun on things all the time, Mulder. It might just be Scully coming around the corner. And in fact, sometimes it is. So this is super souped up Shelby, of course. Fire everywhere and everything's cool. And weapons. So, speaking of Mulder's weapons, so she has some super powerful weapons as well. I feel like she is one of the toughest characters, even though everybody's fairly even until you upgrade them. Because her attacks, I feel, just have so much more force. They are fire and whatever. Her I-beam is crazy. She throws a flaming tornado. And she has swords and knives, much like Godiva. They're kind of two sides of the same coin. But anyway, back to Mulder. They were watching there, and he was... I remember this episode, but I can't remember what quite happened. I don't know, he was in some sort of state. And I remember going to the school the next day and saying, hey guys, so what was that about? Like, was he paralyzed? Well, I don't understand the X-Files yet. I'm not smart enough to figure out what's going on. I gotta wait till I'm in my 30s and go back and watch it with fresh eyes. The room was bathed in light, the door was opening, it may or may not have been aliens coming to get him, and Mulder pulled out his gun, and he just kept shooting, and thankfully his gun wasn't working because of alien powers, or the government, or whatever the conspiracy is that week, and he just shot, and it's just like, oh yeah, like in the 90s, if you were a character with a gun, you shot somebody by the end of that episode. And the fact that the guys usually get away, again, like, this is me asking you to remind me about my childhood. Yeah, they like 99% of the time, like, they never kill whatever they're chasing down.
No, because most of the time it's an alien, and
yeah,
it's like green goo, and then walks away.
Because even like the guys where you got to stab them in the back of the neck, it's super hard. They're giant, like, professional wrestlers or whoever they are playing these guys. Like, Mulder's no match for them. He just gets tossed away, and then they escape. And
there's gas that comes out that...
Oh, yeah.
Like, kind of screws them up. Yeah.
Yeah, people always just end up passing out. And then if they do find anything, that's all I remember is, again, every Monday morning going into school and just saying to the people that convinced me that the X-Files is the greatest thing in the world, that's going to be continued, right? When I get the, like, next week, they're going to be like, oh, I can't believe they burned up all that evidence. Let's talk about it. And no, it's like, well, they burned up the evidence. Next. Like, that... But... You guys found you found a monster, guys. You found a thing that turns into another thing. You found a boy that heals people and absorbs their diseases. There has to be some sort of, like, literally goes into a file into this giant warehouse somewhere with a million other...
man takes the evidence away. Yeah, that's any time at the end of an episode where they're super injured or they're really hurt or whatever, and then the next episode it's they've miraculously healed.
I feel like the only person who really has a genuine... not come back like a cartoon is Krychek. Like, he horrible, and I don't want to ruin it for you because you're probably not there yet. So many things happen to him.
Well, he lost his arm.
So he already has that.
Yeah, he lost his arm.
So he gets to keep his arm lost forever. I feel like he puts on some kind of glove or over a wooden hand for a while. Because, we didn't have CG back then, and Chris Carter had to do something without paying all the money to invent CG, like the Titanic guy there. And yeah, so he'll have that, but still, like, he gets, again, everything that happens to everybody all happens to Krychek at some point in time. So it's like, I used to hate him, and now I feel bad for him. But I still, if I see him in a show, I still hate him because he was a bad guy. He was just a two-faced bad guy. Maybe he thought he knew what he was doing. Shelby knows what she's doing, so you can keep upgrading all of these deals here. So she's got a bunch of scepters, staffs, and fire swords. And again, just like we said with the Godiva, these are just conduits. And
that one's my favorite, I think.
Yeah.
Master
Black.
Fire Sword.
Yeah, I love all the higher end stuff. It's just, I don't know, it just always looks better as we go, and it was the later done stuff, so it got just the most attention. And then you can have Mulder monster pets.
Oh wow.
I have to change her hair there so we can see that better. Sometimes some things are bigger than they need to be. And so we got a Tarragon hatchling. And again, I looked up real words for everything. Sometimes I respelled them, put Y's where other words were going to be. And I think Tarragon is a hot spice, and or it's also some sort of serpent or dragon when I looked it up. And so I was like, oh, this is perfect. In it goes. And yeah, thesauruses and Google are a magic thing. I don't know how much of it I can trust.
I've never heard of the spice or the thing. I don't know.
I think it's a spice anyway.
I thought it was something cool you came up with.
Brent, you cook all the time. What's tarragon? Do you ever put it on your salmon? Oh, we got a shoulder shrug. We got a hard shoulder shrug.
I'm looking it up though.
Yay!
Oh, having a staff that double checks your facts.
When's Brent gonna be on? Is that next week or the
Probably next week sometime, yeah.
Oh.
I got, or not at all. I got Clyde's Monday, where we talk about Clyden. And then after that, it's mostly just playing and stuff like that. So I think maybe I'll get you to just swing in and out while I'm trying to do the how far can Curtis get without
If I gotta
smashing this
do it,
thing.
you gotta do it.
Okay.
The other crazy truth about video games and artistic things is the people who make the thing usually don't want to be seen at all. I was watching John DiMaggio there last night on Getting Doug, and it's crazy because he was like, I didn't know if I wanted to do this. Like, you're in every show. Like, he's Bender, and he's Adventure Time Dog, and every voice in every cartoon ever. Him and Phil Lamar and the guy who did all the Scooby-Doo noises are just in everything. But yet he was still so, like, I don't know, showing up here, like, you're super famous, and like if this game is like super famous, for the most part we would be hiding behind it and you would never see us. Then it's like, hey, yeah, that's the Shelby. But
Just want my money and be left alone.
yeah, it's like most people, you're just trying to get home at the end of the day and be able to afford their Mr. Noodles and I don't know, blocks of cheese. Is what I would live on if.
But not together. Unless you put cheese on your Mr.
No,
Noodles.
not right at the same time. But like one, you have your Mr. Noodles, and it's like that was great, but I'm still hungry because it was just Mr. Noodles. I need a big pile of protein. How about a big old hunk of cheese, or sliced into smaller hunks so I don't feel like a gross pig. But I rarely eat cheese nowadays. I should say I never eat cheese, but I don't. I literally just got a pizza the other night. And when I get home tonight, I'm probably going to have some cheese. And I don't know if you guys heard the brow. That means we're going to have a meeting soon. And we're about at the end of the time. So that's all the stuff that Shelby, the character, has. And I'm going to play a little level here. And is there anything, Shelby, anything you can think about, a favorite X-Files moment? You were laughing your face off over there. You keep putting up these what I consider memes now, where it's like you got to just put the text on there, the case of Shelby's eyebrow shadows,
Yeah.
And again, the 90s was a different place. You didn't go back and fix everything or Photoshop stuff. So it was like, if you look gross in this scene, Gillian Anderson, you're going to have to look gross. And let your, I don't know, attitude do the work. But before we go, as we talk about Dragon Fighters, what's your favorite X-Files moment?
Okay. I should say probably when Gillian Anderson stops wearing shoulder pads. But other than that, it's I think when it was, like yesterday when I told you about how I think it was Mulder called Scully when she was like doing her case or whatever. She was on vacation. There was this creepy doll that was killing people, and anyway, she got a call from Mulder, and she heard like this banging in the background. She's like, "What the hell is that?" And he's like, "Hold on a second. There's some construction going on." And then it like goes to him, and he's got this like basketball, and he's bouncing it off the table, and it's making like, those noises. So then he's pretending to yell at the construction crew like, "Hey, could you keep it down? I'm on the phone." And then he just kind of takes the basketball and like whips it to the side, and then acts like that's what was happening, but he was just playing. He's not wearing any pants either. It's like, what are you doing?
In the office?
No, he's not in the office.
Okay.
He's at his,
Yes.
his apartment.
Okay, that does sound familiar now.
So he's bored. He's bored.
Yeah, he's very easily bored. I love like whenever Mulder is like a small child. Those are my favorites. And again, I think I keep when the shapeshifter takes over Mulder's body. Best episode ever because it's just like it's still David Duchovny playing himself as a goofy fun guy, and those times when like he's genuinely trying to get away with something with Scully. And this is, 100 years before they ever got together, if they actually did or not. All that stuff seemed to happen between seasons. Mm-hmm. And, but yeah, whenever I just can't, and especially when Scully reacts in that way where it's like, oh, Mulder, I'm not your mom.
That signature kind of eye look where it's just like,
And I have to definitely, that vampire episode you were talking about, that's all, the reason I want to desperately go and watch it now is just for, I love those episodes where they're telling their side of the story. And in my head, I didn't remember there being more than one of them. And they're the best. And also in Millennium, there was a few of those episodes as well. At least one or two. Yeah. I think those were the Halloween episodes. They ended up being kind of Simpsons-y.
It did seem like
Bizarre World.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you are crazy X-Files fans, and you'd like a few more demons in your X-Files stories, find yourself some Millennium. I think there's 3 seasons. And yeah, it got canceled before it got finished, but I blame that on the Fox network because they hide their shows when they get new shows. And, oh snaps, I thought I was done this level. Oh, Andrew, you're gonna kill Shelby.
No.
While Shelby's here, look at her. She hates it too. She smashes her hands and feet on the ground.
Why, Andrew, why?
But, I don't know, Andrew's literally making the levels a little bit harder now because, like I said, Mike's mom beat them. And I don't know much about Mike's mom, but if she can beat this game, then it needs to be a little bit harder. But she's also a bit of a maniac in that once she got to the highest level, she just decided to go fight people. Anybody. She didn't care who. You can be like Mike's mom. You can fight all the people. You just have to hit that battle button, whether you're in the story or in the castle. And you can attack me, you can attack Shelby, you can attack Brent. We've all got accounts floating around here. You'll have to guess Shelby's name. It's usually some serial killer or something scary or crazy. Razorwind has a crazy castle. But see, there's all kinds of fun stuff like that. Shelby might be Razorwind. You don't know. My name usually has a Curtis in it somewhere. And, I know. I realize before you say it, I didn't let Shelby talk that much. I talk too much.
Okay.
But I also know that Shelby's very quiet, and she won't say that much. That's why I forced her to tell me an X-Files story. And hi, Matt. Hope you're watching while you work. And
okay. Can you see where there's people?
No, I have to go to the actual Twitch itself.
Oh, okay.
But I can, yeah.
Do we have people spying on us?
Let's see. Am I talking to myself?
You should put a sticky note on your camera.
Oh, also, speaking of X-Files, if you watch the new episodes, my favorite to the new episodes is Mulder coding his laptop camera with just tape and tape and tape and tape. And then I come in the next day, and there's Post-it notes on the cameras in the office, just like, who's who was naked in the office last night? What's going on here? And then I'm like, oh yeah, Shelby's been watching X-Files. Like, it all makes sense. The paranoia sets in and you're worried that, and I do it too, like not because of the X-Files, just because every time I watch any TV show, they're like, hey, you guys should buy a piece of plastic that covers up your thing or get more post-it notes, because people can just watch, they can just jack into your computer all the time and see whatever you're doing. And in this case, we got a bunch of non-disclosure agreement stuff that's signed off on and posters, and it doesn't matter now. I've got a camera here and we're telling you all the secrets, but you know how it goes. It says I'm live now.
I don't know if you'd see like in the chat or something, but I don't think there's anybody.
It says 58 have watched.
Oh, I think that might be total views.
Yeah, so yeah, it's not, I don't think anybody's here today. It's pretty early in the morning, which means that across the board, in the other time zones, it's like before morning, so it's understandable. I'm fine. This will be there for you to watch later, and it's also on my YouTube channel, on the Egg Roll YouTube channel. If you want to go to nosuchthingasgrownups.com, connect to a bunch of that stuff. I got a podcast where I talk about even more of this. And if you'd like to just listen to this without watching us, I'm probably going to throw this into our podcast as well. And yeah, anyway, thanks Shelby, for enduring this torture.
It was fun.
And bringing your Gundam man.
Oh no, he died.
He fell off the yo-yo. Now we're the yo-yo show. Anyway, later taters.